think you should give her the sword.
This game seems kind of bad, to be honest.
You are now the most vile, sexist, Nazi piece of shit loser, incel, who has not taken a breath near a woman in the past multiple lives.
Oh hey, this game seems kinda cool.
You are now a soy boy beta bitch who wants to get railed by Kratos as Milthik serenades your session. What I have masterfully displayed in the opening of this video is the type of conversation that occurs in gaming nowadays. It does not matter what arguments you put forth or what the game itself is presenting, the conversation has gotten so muddled up in recent years that all we are seeing right now are people tuning into a showcase with things they want to see be the only thing that is shown. Over the years, games have gotten much larger in scale, which in turn has increased the budget allocated for development. The average length of a game in the 2000s was about 16 hours. Nowadays, it's more than 20 hours, meaning developers now need to make sure they create something that is for sure going to be a hit, while the industry churns them out like their AAA batteries. A surefire way to build up hype during the trailer segment was to showcase the most insane shit that you could. So studios created ridiculous set pieces, and that shit has gotten ballistic. The trade-offs of having these incredible set pieces are the reduction of player control. Often you are limited to narrow spaces within which you can run straight and veer just a little to the sides. Most people don't notice these restrictions during the scenes since these moments rely on their ability to capture you into the chaos of it all. But because of these restrictions, they are often touted as not real games. And yet when you look at the review scores of these games, they seem to be doing well. And I say all of this to tell you that what you need to understand about this paradox is that it is not a paradox. Gamers are a subspecies derived from the parent species known as gamers, whose traits include a constant stream of shit spilled from their mouths with no real commitment to those words.
I wasn't somebody that was going out of my way to get these systems. I made a mistake. For me, I'm actually waiting until these probably come more into stock, and there I was, going on a midnight release. There's nothing really on the Switch 2 that excites me to the point I ended up buying that Nintendo Switch 2, where I'm gonna go out and spend $700, and I ended up picking it.
You can't blame them for this, because they are not in control of anything. When they say the shit that comes out of their mouths, that is something that happens to them. Look at what one of the most sophisticated intellectuals of our time, Cookies, has to say about Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. In the original version, you can't play as CJ, or Shrek, or Donald Trump, or Mike Wazowski. 0 out of 10. But wait a minute, he gave the B-movie game a 10? Oh, Mr. Cookies. What about Peter Griff out here saying B-movie is meh? What? Wait a minute. Peter Griff, you give Family Guy a 10? This is a very commonly employed maneuver. He only gives 10 to games he makes. The problem with movie games is understandable. What is the point of holding a controller if all I am doing is watching? But when this conversation gets extended to the genre as a whole, it becomes a very reductive view of games and limits the types of games you play. The developer's intention for how much interactivity a game has is a choice they make, and the choice us as consumers of games have to make is whether or not that game is something you want to play. But when your view of this game turns into hatred, that is when you are in danger of becoming one of these gamers. Because in the mind of a gamer, if a studio made a game they think is bad, the game does not just deserve critiques as to why it's a bad game. The game itself is an evil act and must be abolished from the type of entertainment, or aliens will invade our planet and leave the fate of humanity in the hands of a post-wreck table talk Will Smith. Games tackle all sorts of storylines, and these days, it ain't just about amnesia. It's also about a parent and a child, revenge, and the story of a parent and a child. Which is cool, I guess, but have you considered this? What happens when a man finds a little kid out in the wilderness, all alone in the galaxies, with no one else to take care of her? And now he has to step up. Yes, I'm glad you could tell that shit was more pedo-coated than cheese pizza for the cool people who could make it to Epstein's paradise. Am I right or am I right? But why hear from me about the inherent nature of men's pedophilia for kids not their own, when you can hear it from the esteemed graduate in amateur podcasting and professional cultural commentator? Yes! Yes! We got a cultural commentator. Yes! She's gonna clear it up. Okay. Okay. All right, guys? She's here. She's here. All right, shut up. Hey, shut up! It's a cultural commentator, damn it! Shut up! Let her talk! Okay. They're finally gone now. All right. Okay, let's clear something up. Holy shit, he's gonna clear it up for us. The cultural commentator is gonna clear it up for us. Okay, if a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. Huh? Wait a minute. So this whole time my uncle was a predator? No, Mary, why? Oh, no, my uncle's a predator, what? I don't want him to be a predator. Oh, God. He was so good at the tickling game. This is the level of qualification that is leading the conversation in the industry right now. The most recent game that has gamers reaching for the pitchforks is God of War Laufey. I'm not really sure why they went this way. It seems to me like they weren't able to make Atreus likable enough to make a new game with him as the focus, so they picked her as the main character. But considering the job they've done with the past two mainline games, I'm sure they will come out the gate swinging and surprise us. But none of that matters, because anyone who likes it is a loser simp, and anyone who doesn't is Liver King. However, every once in a while you do get some good information out of the gaming discourse. For example, motion matching. Now, this is a very vital part of making games, and depending on the developer you talk to, some may argue that if you cannot master this part of game development, your game, I believe the technical term he used is kaput, and is very hard to miss. So in a AAA game, you really want to make sure that you've done it right. And I'm going to put up an example footage right now so we can watch it together. Here, let's watch. And that exactly is right there why AAA, ladies and gentlemen, should die. It is a fair concern to have when AAA games are worth a fifth of the console you play them on these days. What the fuck? And at the same time, this is a trailer. And usually, from what I can tell, once the foundation of the motion matching is set up for the game, changing it is pretty quick. I think the main arguments of the game right now revolve around the fact that Kratos has been sidelined and a woman is the main character of a God of War game. I get where it comes from. There's a lot of franchises over the years that have shifted into a female lead after having to start with a male lead. Gears of War, a game that is scientifically proven to add a few extra hair follicles on your ballsack, had a female lead in one of their games. Now, I have not played this game, so maybe it does work. But just from the outside looking in, this game seems like the target market are people who resemble the Hound from Game of Thrones. On top of that, Western entertainment media has been known to make some pretty horrendous female characters over the years that sole purpose seems to be to find ways to shit on the character before. One side of the conversation pretends that that past does not exist and any reason to hate on a female character is sexist, while the other side acts like since that happened in the past, it is the only explanation for this game. And that is the part that is concerning about this whole debate. We got Asmongold out here saying,
I play God of War so I can play as Kratos. What's wrong with that?
He's right. And this motherfucker hasn't played a God of War game since the first God of War game. And then we got this guy saying we love Laufey. But the people who say they love her also feel like they're really only saying that because people are critiquing her. How do you love a character that barely got time on screen? I mean, her presence in the game is cool. But loving? Like the Instagram double tap? I don't know, man. We are at a point in online discourse where if you do not have an extreme opinion or are reserving judgment for later, you are considered a fence sitter, which ironically is the exact remedy for the gamer species.